here from Essential Oils for Moms on Facebook and BonnieDonahue.com. And I'm back with another episode of Storytime with Essential Oils for Moms. And I have one of my favorite people in the whole world, one of my really good friends. I've been friends with her for 8 years or something, or 9 years. And we go way back. We have the same vision for our life and for our families, and we just love helping other people and being our own bosses and just leading by example. And so I'm just so pumped to bring on my friend Claire Layton. She is a gold in doTERRA and just rocking her business, flying all over the country, sharing her love for oils, and just really living by example. So I am just pumped to bring her on and just ask her a few questions for her to just share her story and her heart with you. So welcome, Claire.
Hi, thank you so much for having me and all your sweet words. We go way back.
I know, and I've been trying to get her on the video for a long time, so I'm just so glad I was able to track her down and we could finally do this because I want your story out there. Yes. And so she has a lot of different stories. So we were kind of talking about this before. We're like, what part do we want to talk about? And so she's just going to see what comes off of her tongue, and
Yep.
see what needs to be shared with the world today. And so, Claire, can you just start by sharing a little bit about your background, your family, where you guys are from, and then how you started with oils?
Okay, sure. So yeah, as she said, I'm Claire. My husband and we've been married for over 20 years, and we have 3 boys. So they're old enough now that they're kind of leaving us. So that's a bit sad that my oldest is 21 and he's away at college. And then the next one's 19 and he leaves in September. And my baby is 15 and literally just yesterday I gave him his first driving lesson. So crazy time, but I love being a mom. So that's kind of always been my first role in my heart, as I'm sure most mothers would say. And so, gosh, it's hard to kind of piece it all together, but being in this type of industry and this type of business really fit perfectly for me. Not just for how I wanted my family life flow to go, but also just some health issues that I was dealing with at the time. And I really kind of needed to be in a position where I could bring in some income, but also have that flex around my life, either with my family or how my body was able, to do physically for that at that season. So I first fell into the oils because of my health situation. I was really sick a few years ago, and long story short with that, because that's a whole separate video, we found out I do have Lyme disease, and that what Lyme does in a nutshell is it wrecks your immune system. So I was looking for anything to help boost that and just start to feel better. And I was already into the natural world before that, and the things that I was doing did help, but I really wasn't quite there. And it was a friend who said, hey, have you ever tried them? And that friend was actually, you were like, hey, this has been helping me. And do you want to try this? And so I was like, yes, give me anything. And I had been kind of doing my own research on the side. And so it was just this perfect moment of I'm missing a piece here and I need to try this. So Wild Orange kind of popped into my life. And that was pretty big because I was just really dealing with some emotional issues. Depression was really big. And some of that falls into the category with Lyme as well. And then also just feeling that way because everything was spinning out of control. So anyway, long story short with that too, the second I tried it, I was like, oh my gosh, what is this stuff? So it was a pretty big, and that was really the start of just in my research and kind of figuring out, okay, what else can I do? And following the protocol that was laid out. and I started to feel better. So that brought me to a point of, I can't keep secrets like this. Like when you start to feel better, energy, mood, all of those things, you have to tell people.
Yep.
And that kind of just naturally led me into that sharing mode of, it was like, okay, you know, once you start sharing those things with other people, they're like, tell me more. So it just was a natural flow from that.
Yes. And okay, so I don't know if everyone catch that, but basically she has Lyme disease and I do. We need to do another video like all about
A
Lyme,
whole separate
like
topic.
what we
Yeah.
can do and all that, because I was suffering and I'm like, Claire, you've got to try this. You got to try this. And so once she's tried the wild orange, she's like, okay, there's something to it. Now we have to be compliant, but basically you're like, I'm a different person.
I'm a different person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it wasn't, yeah, that was like one layer. Lyme is a whole separate issue we'll talk about maybe later, but it's like peeling back layers. And I think for any health issue, you know, that, and when you just don't feel good, then, you know, bringing in multiple layers to kind of peel back and just start to feel better and better and better. So, yeah.
I love it. So, okay, so now that you've been using the oils for a while, what are your favorite oils or doTERRA products?
Okay, well, for sure, pretty much the Daily Health Foundation is what I'm on. That was a big game changer for me. So that would involve the Lifelong Vitality Supplement Pack. Okay, so that's our foundation of just supplements and all of that. I take also daily frankincense, DDR Prime, and wild orange and lemon, and actually balance as well. That has helped me with a ton of different issues, but that's kind of like part of my daily protocol. I'm using all kinds of different oils throughout the day. I use them a lot for mood and things like that, but that's literally what I have every single day.
I love it. So for people that are brand new, because I know a lot of that's like in the Dr. Hill protocol, people who are like brand new and have no idea, like how would you take lemon? How do you take wild orange or balance? Like what are some of the quick things that you do just to take those oils?
Oh, that's a really good question because, yeah, it felt like learning a whole new language when I first, yeah, I was like, okay, I have this wild orange, like, what do you do with it? And so I do take it internally. I take it in my water. I do that with wild orange and with lemon. And if you are a newbie or if you haven't tried oils, you may be thinking exactly what I was at that time, like, what? You can drink this? And so like I said, I'm a researcher, so I did my due diligence and kind of looked that up myself. And I was like, okay, this is totally gonna be safe. And so I did it, and that's how I take it, is internally in my water. It's super simple. It's really easy. It's not scary at all. It actually tastes great. And I found a huge difference for me. So it works.
And these are only doTERRA that you can
only take? doTERRA. That was the only one that I found that was completely safe for all the oils. And they make it really simple as far as how to use them. It's right on the bottle. So, you know, all those fears just started calming down when you're just like, anytime you introduce something new, it's like, what do I do with this? You know? So it was really simple and really easy.
I love it. Okay, so you were using the products, and then what made you want to become a wellness advocate?
Yeah. Okay, so that's many layers as well.
Right,
but
right.
The bottom line is because of, you know, my issues and things like that too, I needed to be able to bring in an income for my family. And with my, you know, the way that my health was going at that time, that we're talking almost 2 years ago, not quite, but that was kind of a day-to-day thing. So just going out and getting a regular job with hours and all that set, my body just couldn't do that. So when I was already just kind of like sharing the oils already, it was like, oh my gosh, these are great. You know, you start sharing naturally with your friends and family. Then I learned of the business opportunity, and kind of dove in learning about that. Again, I said I'm a researcher, so I watched videos. I'm like, what does this mean? How do you earn income? And I was just blown away. I saw there's a huge opportunity. I loved everything that I saw, and I just did it. I just did it. And also, I think you really need to research the people you're going to align with. And I was super impressed. Obviously, I'd be partnering with you. And so there's already trust built there with a friendship. And also, that would make it way more fun. So, just to have that community together and do this. And it may sound a little corny, but I do believe we are on a mission. And when you feel better personally, I feel like it's my responsibility to share that with other people. It's like, this is a simple, inexpensive tool that can really help improve some areas in your life. So how can you not, keep that quiet? So it was just kind of like this perfect storm. I was like, oh, I can make money. I can help other people feel better. And we just have a lot of fun doing it. So, yeah.
Yes, mom on a mission right there. Okay, so since joining doTERRA, how has doTERRA impacted your life?
Oh man, it's like in every room in my house. First of all, product wise, it's everywhere. We've got diffusers, all that. And how has it impacted my life? Well, I feel better. And also business wise, getting to that point, you mentioned that I hit a rank of gold. If you're not with doTERRA, you don't even know what that means. It doesn't really matter other than to say that it does provide my family an income. And it also put me to a level of leadership in the company where I qualified for another leadership program. And so this past winter, they paid for my travel to go around to my different teams and basically teach some fun make and take essential oil classes. So it was like a dream. It was like this perfect storm. I mentioned earlier, because I was at home and with my health and all that, I did build some of the beginning online with my business, but not to say I used it through personal relationships, if that makes sense. I have a lot of friends that are all over the US because of our social tools. So I already had that network. And so being able to go visit them in person and have it covered, was really like amazing. So so that changed my life because I love to travel. I was feeling good enough to do that finally at a point where it kind of worked. And so that has really helped. And of course, obviously we have the income and there's no ceiling on that. I've always thought of my life in terms of seasons, and my mother was the one that really put that into perspective. And so what I like is it can flex with my seasons of life. So if I have a season in life where it's like, oh, great, I have more energy and more time I can devote to the business side, I can do that for a quarter. And then it's like, okay, now we're coming upon summer. Okay, great. Let's maintain for a while. Let's nurture and take care of customers, things like that. But now, I've got my son coming home for the summer. I have about 8, I was just counting it out. I have like 8 weekends where my whole family of 5 is like together, it's like a precious moment in time. And so I'm going to be able to, I'm not going to travel during that time, and I'm able to just put more time into the family side, if that makes sense. So that's how that's just a little tip of how it's changed and how it
should be.
Life.
Yeah, that's definitely how it should be. I love it. Family first, always. I love it. And you can work your business around your family. That's huge, 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 huge. Okay, what are your goals with doTERRA?
What are my what?
Your goals.
Oh, my goals. My goals is, I've always set my sight on Diamond.
Yeah.
Diamond is a rank in the company that provides a really awesome income opportunity. Obviously, every rank does, but that for some reason that was always in my head from the beginning, and maybe that will change once I get there. In order to do that, and I guess I see myself not just getting there, but I see bringing as many of the women in my team with me. So that was the fun part about traveling, is I really got to pour into them and see them grow as leaders and step up for their own business and just be there as a support. And I actually really like that part of the business side better. I mean, the income is awesome, but that's like my jam. Like I get that gets me out of bed in the
But
morning,
you're
if that makes
so
sense.
good. You're so
Yeah.
good. You're motivating me.
Yeah, that is what I yeah. So women supporting other women and just helping them, whatever their goals are, it's their own business. So and then I guess so that would be on one side of it. And then for me, personally, obviously I have my own personal financial family goals, things like that. We've got two boys in college with a third on the rise. Yeah. So, we know that in this season of our life, we've got the next, I don't know, 8 years or so of our children all in college. And so we want to be able to help support them in starting their life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then our next season will be like planning for our retirement and things like that. So it just is like this great fit, where the two can come together. And I think it's great. It's not always something people get an opportunity to actually earn an income or have a job, so to speak, of something that you actually feel passionate about and that you really like and that you love coming to. That's I don't take that for granted, because I do talk to other people where they don't really like what they do.
Yep.
So I feel pretty blessed that way. And then just the people that I have on my team, they're amazing. It's beyond a job environment. It's because this is an entrepreneur situation. And so you end up finding like-minded people. So they're my friends, like we're on the same mission. We just have fun together. I genuinely like them, so it's yeah, I love it.
I love it. I love what you said. So two things that I really loved, especially like I've been a mom for like 12 years or 13 years, but you're like an experienced mom. Right? You're all getting older. So I love what you said, that you can work around the seasons of your life. That is huge, because they're always changing. So what you're doing is always going to change. And that you said doing what you love and having that passion, because if you are not waking up every day and being excited to do what you're doing, then why are you doing it? Oh, so huge. So I love that you're doing what you are passionate about. You're helping others. You're helping yourself. You're being that example to your family. I love it. So
yeah, I have to say one other thing about that too. I didn't know if I was going to say it, but I'm just going to anyway. But recently, my grandfather passed, and that was really my grandparents are like a second set of parents for me. So it's been pretty emotionally hard. Yeah. And because I had already done the work in my business before and all of that, we've been able to, I was able to take quite a bit of time off, so to speak. I'm still, kind of in there, got my hand in, but to have that time off and flex when I need it, when you have a family crisis and still get a paycheck, and still get paid is way more than, I don't even know how to put that into words, because at a really serious hard time, for me personally, doTERRA really still was able to take care of my family. So so I'm really, really grateful for that.
And then that's huge. I mean, I know we talk all the time, but it's like, I'm really sorry about that loss. Like, I can't imagine. And I hope that people don't have to experience that, right? But the reality is, like what you just said, like things come up, and sometimes you're not always able to take the step back, from work, because you have to put food on the table or you have to do something. But building something like this, even on the side, could just be that cushion, just enough on the times that you do need to step back for something, that it's there, which a lot of people don't think about until it's too late.
Yes. Yeah, it was huge. And then, of course, the oils for emotional support really are amazing. And I got a chance to try some different ones for, because of different, for grieving and consoling and all of that. And then also able to share that, with my mom and just all of those. So yeah, we dabbled even more into a different side of oils that unfortunately we needed at the time, but it was also really good too. So yeah.
That's what you needed. And now you can help someone else on their journey.
Yeah. I think our life experiences, definitely put us in a position to relate and connect to somebody on a different level that you wouldn't have been able to before. So I definitely understand grief in a whole new way now.
Yep. Yep. Last question. If someone is brand new to oils and they've never used an essential oil before, because we were with those people at one time, what would you say to them?
If they were brand new,
like if they've never used it, never used it.
Across this all the time, you know, I just say, usually people have a lot of questions like I did, and at some point you have to just dive in and try it for yourself. You can ask all the questions, you can do all the research, but without experiencing it yourself, you know, that's just your missing piece.
Yep.
So you just need to get started. You don't really have to know everything about them before you dive in, because I'll tell you, it's been almost 2 years of using them and I still learn something new all the time. And that's what resources are for. That's what our community group is for. You know, we have all those tools in place. So what you need to do is get your oils and then start implementing them one at a time. You know, I was overwhelmed in the beginning. So I just started with like 1 or 2. It's like, okay, let's try this. Like lemon for detoxing, you know, that helps with detoxifying the liver, wild orange for my mood, things like that. So then you'll start adding in your layers as you learn. And you are, the other thing that I love to remind people of is you are in charge of your own personal health care. And as women, we're in charge of the household. That's just pretty much what happens. So, and so you are the change maker there, and you have quite an opportunity to introduce some tools. I love that my boys, even as teenagers and young adults, they are empowered in their own healthcare. They are starting to become aware of how they feel. And as boys, you know, that's a really good thing. Like, how do I feel today, and what can I grab that's on our kitchen counter that will help me feel better? So you just have to get started. That's all it is. Get the oils in your hands. The rest will follow.
Yep. I love it. Start small, but just start.
Yes.
Love it. Awesome. Claire, thank you so much. Oh, one last thing before you go. So where can people find you online?
Oh, they can find me. I have a public education group on Facebook. It's with a community of people. I have my other team advocates there, and myself, and it is open to everybody. And it's called the Oil Squad Public Education and Giveaway Group. You can just search it on Facebook in the search bar. I do have a Facebook page called Essential Oils with Claire. And I do some posting there, but we definitely get more into the community part, asking questions and all of that over in the group of Facebook. So it's a public group. You can search it and find it. Love to have you.
And I'll post the comment, or I'll post it in the comments people can find it in the description. So awesome, Claire. Thank you so much. I'm just pumped we finally got you on here and we can share your story. And we have to do another one. I know we have to do another one. Lyme's coming up because I know people are asking about it. So
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Have a great day, and we will be back more later. See ya.
Okay. Sounds good. Bye.